two of the top 5 players in the league, have been the focal point of NBA trade rumors throughout the offseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo is yet to sign his Supermax contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks, and Houston Rockets star James Harden has made it clear he wants to leave the franchise. Recently, it was announced by NBA insider Shams Charania that James Harden was open to Milwaukee as a trade destination. This scenario has raised questions, however, as to whether the two superstars could work together on the same team given their history. We will take a look at how the two have developed a feud. Since Antetokounmpo won his first MVP award, their feud began with a since-deleted backhanded compliment dealt out by the Houston Rockets on Twitter. After Giannis Antetokounmpo won his first MVP award from the 2018-19 season, the Rockets side posted "Congrats to the MVP, but we respectfully disagree." It is understandable from a Houston point of view to back their guard, who averaged a history-making 35 points and 7 assists that season. However, the manner in which they did, during the Greek's acceptance speech, was unsportsmanlike. The Rockets lit the fire, and Harden was keen to stoke it. In an interview with GQ, the 31-year-old was insistent that a political narrative had decided the 2019 MVP voting, saying, "Hollister native, El Titro Campesino veteran, educator, immigration activist, and farm worker advocate Noe Montoya, 66, died suddenly on Thanksgiving Day, November 26. Though he had COVID-19, the official cause of death has yet to be announced. The day before, Montoya spent an hour talking with Beanatol Link about his life, career, and signature role as Juan Diego in the Titro play La Virgen de Tepeyac, an interview that forms the basis of this article. "I have often remarked," said longtime El Titro Campesino stage manager Milt Commons, "that when I get to heaven, if Juan Diego does not look like Noe Montoya, I will be very disappointed." Noe Montoya as Juan Diego. Photo by Robert Eliasson. Noe Montoya as Juan Diego. Photo by Robert Eliasson. Noe Montoya was not the first Titro actor to play the role of Juan Diego, but for many, his was the definitive performance. First taking on the role over 40 years ago, he retired from performing it in 2014. "There is so much to say," Montoya said. "The play has always been very magical, very spiritual, and it has been an honor to bring to life Cuautlatodsin, Juan Diego." La Virgen de Tepeyac is based on the story in which, in 1531, the Virgin Mary appeared 4 times to Cuautlatodsin, a Chichimeque peasant, instructing him to ask the archbishop to build a church in Tepeyac. On the 4th visit, he was given roses to serve as proof of the apparitions, and discovered his tilma cloak had been imprinted with the image of the Virgin. Luis Valdez, founder of El Titro Campesino, first asked Montoya to play Juan Diego in the mid-1970s, and he performed the role in 4 productions 30 years later. "I left Titro for a while as I was going through a lot of personal issues," Montoya said, "and when I came back in 2002 I auditioned for a role in Zoot Suit, but I didn't get the part. My son Robert and I had planned a trip to Mexico City, so we went there. On arrival, they visited the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe, which houses Juan Diego's tilma. When we got there, everyone was busy cleaning the church," Montoya said. "I asked them why, and they said the Pope was coming at the end of the month to declare Juan Diego a saint. Someone gave Robert an artist's rendition of what Juan Diego looked like, and he said back, "Hey, Dad, he looks like you. You should ask Titro to let you play him one more time." Montoya and his son went to view the tilma, which is displayed on the wall behind the altar. "As I stood there, I offered myself to the Virgin," Montoya said. "I prayed, and I asked that she help me and my family come out of our difficulties in a good way. As we were leaving, my son asked me if I prayed, and if I told her that I would play Juan Diego again. And I told him yes. I told her, if she helped us, I would play Juan Diego again. I kind of laughed it off, and we went on our way." Later that year, Montoya got a call from Kinan Valdez, who was directing the Christmas play, asking if he was interested in taking on a role in the new production. He said back, "I was hoping you would consider being a musician, or the uncle, or Juan Diego," Montoya said. I said, "You want me to audition for Juan Diego?" Kinan said back quote, "If you want it, yeah, sure, what the heck." I did my audition and a few days later, Kinan called me and asked me when I could start. I called my son and said, back quote, "Guess who is playing Juan Diego this year?" And he said, "Dad, she gave you the role." Montoya played the role in 4 consecutive productions: 2002, 2004, 2006 and 2008. Noe Montoya as Juan Diego. Photo by Robert Eliasson. Noe Montoya as Juan Diego. Photo by Robert Eliasson. "When I got the role again, I had to do some real strong soul searching," Montoya said. "By now I had studied a lot of the history of the conquest and the Catholic Church, and I had a different outlook of the story. Did it really happen? Was it just a ploy to convert the Indians? I asked myself if I really believed, if I should really play a role I had doubts about. I had to make some very serious decisions. I almost called Kinan back to tell him I could not do it. What brought him back was wise words from his son. Dad, Robert said, the Virgin would not have given it to you if she did not think you were worthy of it. Montoya's internal struggle over the part led him to an understanding as to how to play the character. I went ahead and accepted the role, he said, but I decided I was going to portray him more honestly. I was not going to portray him as a humble, meek, mild Indian. I decided that he would not have just accepted everything thrown at him. He felt anger, he felt humor, he felt love. And I brought with me my cynicism, my surprise, my humor. If I were Juan Diego and this woman appeared, how would I react? Montoya announced his retirement from the role in 2014. It is a physically demanding role with a lot of running and kneeling and movement, he said. Over the run of the play, it takes its toll on you. Stephanie Candelari performed the role of the Virgin of Guadalupe for Montoya's final season. Hey, if you like my videos then please subscribe my YouTube channel, and don't forget to press bell icon.